If you want to find opportunity, like real opportunity, you have to go where other people aren't.
Hello and welcome back to Change and the Market, your weekly look at the changing real estate market. I'm your host, Brian, joined as always by our host, our resident real estate expert, Chris Masiello. Chris, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Brian. Good to be with you and good to be with everybody in our community.
Fantastic. Let's get right into it, Chris. We're going to have a little bit of a shorter episode today, get right to the point. How have things changed in the market over the last week? How are things looking?
Well, I like to start off by congratulating the entire company for their 2022 results. So we just released our awards for last year, and we had some, pretty amazing individual and team performances. In really what was probably the messiest year in the history of real estate. I know that sounds very dramatic, but it was just such a crazy year. Coming off pandemic and interest rates going up and inventory drying up and just things like that. I think we as an organization and each individual in it performed like amazingly well. So in a broad sense, when we take a look at our regional market share in New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont, we had about 20% more market share than our nearest competitor. And in terms of straight just market share norms, that's like enormous. And so, in a year where the market, was quirky, just to be gracious about it, we performed really well. And so, I just want to pass my congratulations and great admiration for, everybody in, residential, commercial, mortgage, title insurance, home warranty, for just doing a great job. Yeah, very, very, very proud of that. And I think the other thing too, we're the housing process really isn't about people buying houses. It's really about them, finding their home. And I've always thought that's kind of interesting about this business. What attracted me to it was the ability to help people, become aligned with where they can live their lives. Birthday parties, Christmases, proms, the ups, the downs, and all that. And I'm really proud of the fact that that's what we do, and we do it really well. We help people not buy buy houses, but help them find their homes. So again, congratulations to our folks for really doing a wonderful job taking care of their clients.
Absolutely. Congratulations to everybody. Very good work. Let's bounce right off that and kind of hit our normal topic here. What has the market been doing, and what can sellers be doing right now to kind of capitalize?
These markets, they all present slightly differently. Every market's a little different. However, the one thing that just jumps out at you is that we are still so starved for inventory, and these markets are ready to gear up. Like there is pent up demand that, based on what happened last year, and interest rates are starting to glide down a little bit, and there is pent up demand. And one of the things that I hear anecdotally as I'm talking to people throughout the organization is this kind of constant theme of sellers. Well, I'm waiting till April, and like I get it. There's less snow in April than there is on March 1st, but the market's now, and if everybody's waiting until April and May, then at some level, you're at a competitive disadvantage. It might be slight, but you're at a competitive advantage now because the inventory is so thin. And so I would just encourage people to be really thinking about that. If you can align yourself to a more immediate timeline to enter the market, if you're a seller, I would do it now.
Fantastic. That kind of ties directly into our last point here. We were talking before we started. You mentioned how, if people aren't if they're trying to wait, if they want to wait till April to put their house on the market, you're saying, no, go the other direction, do it now. That ties into our final point here. What's your advice, just your general advice for people in their day-to-day lives this week? Well,
I've always had this theory that if everybody's running over here, I'm going to run over there. because there's no opportunity where everybody else is. All the opportunity is where everybody isn't. And I think that kind of goes in line with this, right? I mean, we're all socialized as, we've been brought up at a societal level to, kind of fall in line and do what everybody else does. And, to some degree, some things, of course, that's okay. However, but if you want to find opportunity, like real opportunity, you have to go where other people aren't. That's where all the opportunity is. And so like, I've always kind of had that philosophy in just about everything, and not in a contrarian way. It's just that we're just talking about a seller, right? Like I get it. If you can't, if for some reason you have to wait until April or May or June, okay, that's fine. If there's legitimate reasons. If it's just a preference, I would rethink the preference, because right now there's a void in the market. You could fill it and you would benefit by it. No differently than, if everybody's running over here, you might want to think about running over there because you might be missing something over there.
I think the important part you highlighted there is it's not being contrarian, it's seeking opportunity. Those are two different things, and I think that's an important distinction to make. So excellent advice as always, Chris. Awesome. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Change in the Market. As always, if you're enjoying listening to us or watching us, make sure you like or support us on whatever platform you're enjoying us, and come back next week for another brand new episode of Change in the Market.
Thanks, Ryan. Good to be with you. Have a great week, everybody.